You're watching the Line Makers exclusively on SportingNews.com, presented by Jack Daniels.
Folks, Thursday Night Football, these are the greatest odds-making minds in the world, and even these guys don't know that the Bills-Miami is a blood rivalry. These two teams hate each other. Buffalo is 1, it's up to 1.5. The total on the game is 45.5. Buffalo's an over team, Miami's an under team.
Let's start with the rivalry. Did you know it was a blood rivalry?
No.
Hatfields and McCoys right here. Miami and Buffalo.
Dolphins owned the 70s. Kelly and the Bills kept Marino out of the Super Bowl his entire career.
Yeah, and we know what they did in the Super Bowl.
So what's going to happen in 2012? Richie, go right ahead. Jump in there, kid.
Well, the first thing that surprised me is that Buffalo's a favorite in this spot.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely. 1.5. I thought the game should have been 1 on top. Miami, up until last week, had been playing much better. Buffalo's lost 3 in a row. They're giving up 30-plus points a game.
Well, let me play devil's advocate, Mr. Bachelor, and we clearly got to get Mr. White involved here. But the last 2 games, Buffalo played at Houston, and if it wasn't for their own ineptitude, they had a shot to win that game. And they literally had New England beat and blew it last week. And then Miami gets torched by Tennessee. How was Buffalo not 3?
Well, one thing I do like about this game, with Jackson being out, Spiller, the first 2 games of the year, rushed for like almost 275 yards. I think if he gets enough carries, he might be able to give him a shot. Miami's defense is good enough to keep him down, though.
He's right, though. That is the Bills' problem. If they use the running backs, Jackson and Spiller, they are in football games. You have Fitzpatrick throwing it over for creation, you're losing.
Well, they don't want to be conservative. They want to try to balance the offense, but it hasn't worked this year. And my biggest worry about Buffalo, Brian, is they're 3-6 now. When do they give up? They just played who I think is a bigger rival in the Patriots, and they had the game. They could have won that game. They could have beaten the Patriots in New England, and they lost. And now they're 3-6. When do they give up?
Let me just tell you that last year in this particular game, Reggie Bush went bananas. Had a great game at Buffalo.
He's been going backwards since he came back. Only a couple carries last week. It's not 100%.
He got benched. I guess he fumbled going in before the half, and they benched him for most of the
But
second
you know what
half,
was
which
cool
shocks
about
me.
that? He didn't bark about it. He said, I deserve. I mean, he's actually pretty mature.
Yeah, okay.
No, he could have pouted about it. I think he comes back and plays a good game.
He's as mature as I am.
I don't think we're here to talk about Reggie Bush's maturity.
All right, we're talking about the number on the game. How about the total? What do you think pace of play?
Like an under.
Under. I'm in agreement.
Like an under. Miami's played 5 straight unders. It's Tannehill. Not putting up great numbers, very solid numbers, consistent numbers, not great numbers, enough to where it'll be a low-scoring game. We'll agree on that.
Steve Johnson, Bills wide receiver, is a spotlight hog. Thursday night lights, national TV. Steve Johnson has a big game. I see the Bills get it done.
Yeah, short weeks. You got to play the unders in the short week games.
It's the Thursday night game. Thank you for stopping by the Line Makers on Sporting News.